partying together. So in the authorities' mind, they feel like Puff knew what Meech was doing. Then with the introduction to Jacob and different people, and a lot of people going to jail for money laundering and stuff like that, Puff being, and this is documented, Puff being a CI for an FBI agent. I said this years ago, that Kim and Kirk Burroughs took some paperwork. They was taking some papers up to the FBI, so like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI.
As far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, you. Because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got talks is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the
CI. You understand? Now, what happens? He don't have that. The guy probably, that was 20, 30 years, 20 some years ago. The guy probably retired. Puff ain't dealing with him, no, he didn't pass Puff on or something like that. So now, Puff been dodging the legal system. With the, people had it wrong. They think it was with the Black Mafia family. No, it was with Butt Naked. I said this years ago. The person that he said is his senior advisor, Corey Jacobs. Corey had 9 16-to-life sentences for drug trafficking. You make him your senior advisor, even though that was your man, he coming home. That's your man, patching pots and pans. But Wook was the one who took care of them when they was away. You understand? Wook was the one who took care of them. So now, you got all these, these characters, around you. What they gonna think when they come to your house?
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full.
The circumstances surrounding Diddy are unquestionably intricate and appear to be escalating as additional shocking allegations come to light. Rapper Crazy Bone relayed a statement credited to John Holmes, a former CIA agent, suggesting a broader conspiracy involving the CIA and the hip-hop sector.
Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates. Mm-hmm. The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons. Mm-hmm. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares.
Holmes, a former CIA agent, highlighted an extensive conspiracy implicating the CIA and the hip-hop industry. He recounted an instance where many of us exchanged glances, filled with both amazement and confusion. I was unfamiliar with the concept of private prisons, and I wasn't alone in my ignorance. Inevitably, someone inquired about these prisons and their relevance to music. We learned that these facilities are constructed by private companies who receive government funding proportional to their inmate counts. The more inmates, the greater the payment. It was further explained that since these prisons are privately held, they could become publicly traded, allowing us to purchase shares. Holmes has purportedly revealed that the CIA had a hand in shaping gangster rap culture to align with specific objectives. The allegation extends to record label executives like Diddy, who were supposedly collaborating with the government to foster a particular portrayal of African American youth in America, encouraging criminal behavior to sustain high prison numbers.
Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies, And as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons.
This was purportedly a component of a larger scheme aimed at keeping prison populations at 90% capacity or higher by manipulating music and culture to negatively affect behavior. Holmes' account further implies that the CIA employed various approaches, including extortion, blackmail, and strong-arm tactics to ensure the compliance of rap moguls. Once these influential figures were aligned, they were reportedly urged, and perhaps financially incentivized, to depict criminal activities as glamorous through their music and public images.
Retired CIA agent John Holmes admitted this week that the CIA was behind the creation of gangsta rap in the 80s in order to glamorize criminal behavior and fill private prisons. The US government spent vast sums of money on this covert operation, which was designed to create division and corrupt the American youth to nihilist and anti-American ideologies. According to the former agent, famous hip-hop lyrics of the legendary hip-hop outfit NWA were scripted by a team of psychologists and war propagandists inside the CIA. Fuck the police and other anti-establishment lyrics were intended to unleash a wave of cynicism towards authorities, promote the use of narcotics, and glamorize the gangster life in the minds of impressionable young people. The CIA worked in tandem with the music industry elites to create a funnel in which young people would be indoctrinated with brainwashing gangster rap music, introduced to a life of crime, and then delivered to the highly profitable private prison system. In order to create this funnel, the CIA introduced music industry owners to the private prison industry. Once the funnel was in place, the system was a lock.
This narrative contributes to a broader discussion regarding Diddy's consistent ability to sidestep legal consequences, suggesting potential ties with federal agencies like the FBI and CIA. Conspiracy theorists argue that such connections might elucidate his capacity to evade repercussions amidst numerous accusations and legal battles. These allegations depict a grim scenario of manipulation and control within the music industry, tying government bodies to the perpetuation of damaging stereotypes and the entanglement of artists in legal complications. Nonetheless, it is crucial to evaluate these claims with a critical eye, acknowledging the complexities and potential biases embedded in such incendiary revelations.
Diddy had cameras in every room. Everybody came over and doing all kinds of stuff. He has dirt on everybody. Do you think he was an agent?
Yes, I think a CIA agent would be my guess, and I think that a lot of the people in the rap music industry are. And I'll say this as someone...
Wait.
Yeah.
You think a lot are?
Yes, because, Glenn, look at... I mean, again, there's no reason for you to know all these details. Rap probably hasn't been your thing, but it has been mine ever since I was a kid. Huh. And so I've followed the rap music industry. Right now, there's so little talent, actual talent, that in rap music, and so it doesn't require some level of skill, and so these people are clearly selected. A Sexy Red or Cardi B or a bunch of these very popular rappers now, they have no talent. So how do they get picked? How does everybody fit the profile of someone who, if they weren't a rapper, there's nothing else on the planet that they're capable of really doing other than being a rap music celebrity? And so, yeah, I think all of these people are picked, they're groomed, and then they're giving talk. The music industry gives them rapping points or talking points or things they have to support and believe in what the music has to be. I think, again, the people that want to bring down America and the freedoms that we have taken for granted here in America, they're using this particular art form or music form to help accomplish those goals. And that's why, I mean, it's run by a very, very criminal element, not just the artists, but the people in charge of the record labels. It's a band of criminals, and I think the government has dirt on all of them. Kanye West has said in an interview, hey, look, they can't pressure me the way they pressure some of these other artists because I've never committed murder. He said that, and he said it as a way of saying they have dirt on these other artists so they can control them. They don't have that kind of dirt on me. That's why I'm harder to control.
Indeed, the discourse surrounding Diddy's purported ties to federal authorities has significantly expanded. Prominent personalities such as Candace Owens and Jason Whitlock have openly debated the idea that Diddy might be serving as an asset for the FBI.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my coat car. So y'all niggas shut the up about me.
This contributes to an increasing chorus of voices, indicating that his associations with law enforcement might diverge from what is typical for a music mogul. Kanye West was among the first high-profile figures to assert claims regarding Diddy's affiliations with the FBI.
It was well known that Jeffrey Epstein had at least casual links to the Mossad, which is the Israeli Secret Service. And of course, what he was doing, just like Roy Cohn back in the day, was filming his cohorts doing illegal and immoral things and using them as blackmail, probably funneling them to the Mossad or the CIA or whichever intelligence services he was working for. Now, was Diddy being used in a similar fashion as an agent or a shill of an intelligence service? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. But as we're all starting to find out, in this brave new world, anything is possible. What is almost certain, though, is that Diddy is a predator and a thug.
Is Diddy the new Epstein? Let's look at some of these tweets here today. The feds are going to cover up everything with P. Diddy to protect the elite. Was Diddy the new Epstein? Is that why when they raided his homes, they did it knowing that he wasn't in any of them? So people online are connecting dots here with the same thing that Diddy did and Epstein. And legal experts are saying that Sean Diddy Combs could end up staying in prison forever, but there's so many people speculating that there are fake Diddys out there, or people that they're going to take and it's not really him. So let's talk about the similarities of what they did. Someone said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is another Epstein or R. Kelly tape type of case. Now, here's the thing. In Diddy's parties, he had hidden cameras in all of his houses, and he would have these parties and put people in compromising positions, and he would use this as blackmail so that he had power. The same way as who?
At the time, many dismissed his statements as improbable or exaggerated. Yet, as further details emerge and similar allegations surface, the initial skepticism regarding Kanye's claims has started to wane, with many recognizing a pattern that lends credence to his assertions. This unfolding situation has indeed opened a Pandora's box of allegations, prompting widespread speculation and debate about the extent of Diddy's ties with authoritative entities. It's leading many to reconsider past incidents and statements, now viewing them through a new lens of potential government influence and control within the entertainment industry. This shift in perspective is sparking broader discussions about accountability, influence, and the potential implications of such relationships between artists and federal agencies.
Was Diddy a Fed?
I mean, it's a good question, right? I think the main question is, what do you define as a Fed? I think a lot of people think of feds and CIA agents as like, I have an ID card and like I did a job application and I am their employee. But that's not how like intelligence agencies work, right? Like intelligence agencies cultivate relationships. Like the whole point of covert operations is plausible deniability.
I think to answer this question, we're gonna have to go back in time to the 90s when crack was everywhere. Wasn't the CIA doing that? Is that what it was?
That's the rumor. I don't think that there's been I don't know what has that been actually confirmed or what is official. But the story
pretty close to confirmed.
Yeah, the story is that the CIA was selling drugs in the United States, so that in order to fund arms purchases for, I think it was Nicaragua.
Yeah, Nicaragua.
The situation surrounding Diddy has undoubtedly reached a critical juncture, with accusations accumulating in reports indicating that figures like Cassie and Denise are collaborating with federal authorities to reveal misconduct. Diddy's ex, Cassie, has reportedly been in contact with officials involved in the federal investigation, raising concerns for Jay-Z, according to sources with direct knowledge. It is understood that Cassie has been communicating with the investigators for several weeks, even before the raids on Diddy's properties, suggesting her involvement might have helped the authorities establish probable cause for the search warrants. Other women have also been in contact with federal investigators, though their identities remain undisclosed. While the specifics of what Cassie has disclosed to the authorities are not clear, it likely reflects the allegations in a lawsuit she previously filed. This cooperation could mark a pivotal shift in the case, potentially undermining any protection Diddy might have previously relied on from the authorities. As the investigation broadens to include other prominent figures like Jay-Z and, by extension, Beyonce, who is often viewed as a countercultural figure to gangsta rap, the scope of scrutiny is expanding. This raises questions about the depth of involvement and potential complicity within the broader entertainment industry. Beyonce's role and influence are further complicated by her positioning as an antithesis to gangsta rap culture, despite her deep ties within the industry. The narrative you've outlined points to a larger systemic issue within the music and entertainment industry, where the paths laid out for the youth are often fraught with peril and exploitation. The call for sharing the message highlights a demand for awareness and change, suggesting that the unfolding events surrounding Diddy might be the onset of a broader reckoning. This moment in culture and media could be pivotal, potentially marking the beginning of a significant societal shift, where previously unchallenged practices within the industry are brought to light and publicly questioned. The implication that the revolution will be televised speaks to a transformation that will be public, widely discussed, and perhaps even cathartic for those seeking justice and reform.